Hi, everyone. We're in a Johannesburg suburb where a consumer has, they used to have a below ground water meter. For some reason, the city decided to change the water meter. And ever since that happened, there's been some issues. So they came again and did some work yesterday. So when they first changed the meter, they changed it from a below ground meter to an above ground meter. So the first thing that needs to happen, and what I want to do is I want to show you what an above ground meter looks like. And there's also certain things that need to happen when an above ground meter gets installed. Okay. So this is the current state of the above ground meter. When you look at this above ground meter, is that the box actually needs to be buried to a minimum of at least this level. But as you can see, first of all, it's not buried down there, and it's loose. So you can, it's not correctly installed, number one. So a couple of things happens. When this happens is that there's going to be strain on the pipes when that happens. What should happen when a below ground meter gets installed is that the whole installation needs to be removed. Additional pipes, and obviously the correct lengths of pipes, need to be catered for so that there's no strain on the pipe. What happens in the older suburbs is that metal pipes were used leading into it, and HDPE pipes are used today. So you and I, as residents, are not allowed to touch these meters from an installation point of view. Only Joburg Water is. So what is the reality? When they install the meters and they do the installation, when that connection takes place, and if we have a look, and let me just grab a pipe. So when they do the installation, and they do the connection, that connection that is done here to the pipe is connected to our old pipes. Okay, so this is an HDP. I can't dig deep enough now. So that's an HDPE connection. But you can see that there's strain on this pipe. It's not done correctly. So what is going to happen is that because this is not buried properly, and if a leak occurs here, you as a consumer will pay for the consumption, which is incorrect. And that's simply just because the installation has not been done correctly. I think one of the important things for residents to take away from this is that when meter changes that take place, is that to have a look at things like this, because these are the important things. And obviously, again, from a connectivity point of view, because the infrastructure in Johannesburg is 100 years old, when installations are done as badly as this, the weakest point is always going to be between the new connection and the old connection. It must be in a straight line. I think that maybe residents in the park, in the Saxonville Parkwood Park View area, knows about Dorset Dam, where people were without water for 3 weeks. And if it wasn't for one of the residents that got involved, they probably still would be without water today. But the reality of that is that literally a welder could not weld 2 pipes straight together. It was like this. And eventually a gentleman called Stuart had had enough and went and bombarded the mayor's office, and then the city manager got involved and actually took oversight of what happened on site, and eventually it was done properly. But so because every time what happened is that because they couldn't weld it straight together, and when the water was put back on, that it broke again. One of the other things that happened is that when they tried to compact, when it was eventually welded properly, then the wrong soil was used for compacting, which is also very important, because if it's not done correctly, it also then will settle incorrectly, and then pipes will burst or whatever again. So all of those sort of things are really, really important, and it's those sort of things that obviously cost us as residents a lot of money at the end of the day, and it's wasteful expenditure, because it's money from a maintenance point of view that does not need to be spent over and over again. So, and these sort of things, if you do it right the first time, people don't have to come out the second time to do it. It's just logic. There's been a lot of occurrences of this type of thing, and as well as people complaining about their meters starting to read air as a result of all of the water outages that has happened. We recommend that check meters be put in place. The check meters to be used are electronic meters, as they don't read air, unlike the mechanical meters used by council. Obviously, they are set to, from a leak detection point of view. Also, thresholds can be set when there's, from a consumption point of view. So we can set it on the system 5% or 10% over your normal consumption. It's also linked to a tariff engine, so that you can see exactly and compare it to your bill, whether it is correct or not. Hi everyone. There's been an outcry about people getting exorbitant bills from the City of Johannesburg about their meters reading air. There's been programs on Carte Blanche about it, and also we've posted some videos about it as well. What I want to show you is that all mechanical meters have a little impeller inside it, and as air passes through it, that little impeller moves and it will read the air. The more water outages happen, the more this will occur. Doesn't matter what Joburg Water tells us, and try to dispel this. It is a reality. The only meter that does not do this is an ultrasonic meter. Joburg Water does not use ultrasonic meters. They are expensive, which is why we are recommending at this particular point in time that perhaps people consider installing ultrasonic meters as check meters. And if you wish to contact us, we can assist with those which are linked to a billing back end, which will help you to dispute that with the City of Johannesburg. But that being aside, let me just show you what the reality is. So if you have a look at this meter at the moment, don't look at the white digits. The white digits only change when a kiloliter has been read. Have a look at the red digits. Sorry, the light's a little bit bad, but it reads 192 at the moment. As I blow through the meter, you will hear the impeller moving. Also makes a horrible sound, which is the same sound that it will make when air passes through it, and you will see that it has changed to, let me just see because my eyes are bad, to 193. So that is the same sound that it will make when air passes through. It is not the sound, obviously, that it makes when water passes through it. Thank you very much for joining us on our site visit today, and thank you to Maria for letting us know about the problems that they experienced so that we can actually share this with you.